idea for my paper was that I wanted to compare the characteristics and differences of the heroes we read, and I tried to define what makes someone a hero and how this has changed over time. So the title of my paper was Heroes, from Medieval Knights to Baseball Legends. What makes someone a hero? Is it their charm and actions that determine who they are? The classic hero is pictured as a knight in shining armor, who comes to the rescue of a damsel in distress, maybe fighting a few dragons and battles along the way. Throughout the course of history and literature, the version of a hero has changed from this idealistic knight in shining armor to a complex characterization of a more flawed person that goes better with the modern times, ideals, and society. An epic hero is characterized as someone who shows honor and courage and who fights because of their honor versus shame culture. They do not run away from peril, and their purpose is to protect others. Merwin's translation of the novel Beowulf is an excellent example of a classic epic hero tale. Beowulf was a hero because he heeded the call of those in need and rose to the challenge to protect them. Beowulf's culture is based on honor, and although his uncle the king did not want him to go, Beowulf set out to win the fame and glory of defeating the dragons by himself. One of the characteristics of a hero is that the hero is introduced into the midst of turmoil at a point well into the story. This is true in Beowulf because by the time that the story starts, Grendel, the god-cursed brute, is already creating havoc on Hrothgar's people and the mead hall. Another characteristic is that although his fellows may be great warriors, he undertakes a task that no one else dare attempt. Beowulf is a great warrior, and because of his culture's ideals, he goes into many battles alone to show his strength and courage. In one of the battles, no help or backing was to be had then from his highborn comrades. That hand-picked troop broke ranks and ran for their lives to the safety of the wood. He knew that he was the one to defeat the dragons because he volunteered, and so it was his responsibility to protect his people. Beowulf understood what it took to be a hero, and his valor, warrior skills, honor, courage, and actions characterizes him as an epic hero. In Malory's Le Morte d'Arthur, King Arthur is characterized as a medieval hero. Chivalry and brotherhood were really important to King Arthur, and he spent his reign as king trying to create a better government to protect his people. One of the characterizations of a medieval hero is that the hero is not only a warrior and a leader, but also a published speaker who can address councils with eloquence and confidence. Everyone looked to King Arthur as their leader, and he commanded his kingdom very well. He worked hard on creating a new government where things were based on justice and fairness for all. This got challenged when the hidden affair between Sir Lancelot and Queen Guinevere was forced into the open by Mordred, King Arthur's next in line who was hungry for the throne. King Arthur's decisions were based on what was best for his people. He wanted to be a just ruler and a good leader with a good government that was fair for everyone. King Arthur's heroic characteristics also included having trust in others. He had too much trust, however, in Mordred. He wanted to believe the best in him, but when he was away dealing with Sir Lancelot, Mordred tried to take over the throne. In an epic battle, both King Arthur and Mordred died, along with Queen Guinevere and Sir Lancelot later due to loss and grief. Although King Arthur had some flaws, he was still a good king with good intentions and good ideas for ruling his kingdom. He is characterized as a medieval hero because he wanted to protect his people while still holding characteristics like loyalty, honor, and chivalry close to him. Another character from Malory's Le Morte d'Arthur could also be characterized as a hero. Sir Lancelot, while not quite the leader like King Arthur, was a great knight with amazing warrior skills. He was chivalric and very loyal to his king, which made him a great chivalric hero. Chivalric heroes are classified as being loyal, honorable, courtly, adventurous, and great fighters. Sir Lancelot was a knight of King Arthur's Round Table and proved himself with his great fighting abilities. When Queen Guinevere was to be burned at the stake for their affair, Sir Lancelot came to her rescue when no one else would. This is a characteristic of a chivalric knight because although his fellows may be great warriors, he undertakes a task that no one else dare attempt. Lancelot also proved himself as a chivalric hero by going out and accepting challenges that would have made him a better fighter or enhanced his reputation as a warrior knight. He was loyal to his king until the end, and although everything was not perfect, he did his best to be a great knight and live up to the expectations of being a chivalric hero of King Arthur's Round Table. In Merwin's translation of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Sir Gawain is the central character, and he represents qualities of both an epic hero and a chivalric hero. He was a knight of King Arthur's Round Table, and when the Green Knight came to challenge them, he rose up to the task so King Arthur wouldn't have to. After delivering the blow, Sir Gawain undertook the long, perilous journey, which tested his endurance, courage, and cunning in order to complete the challenge. He set out to find adventure and to prove himself to be a great knight. After respectfully warding off the advances of the Green Knight's lady and passing the first two tests, he failed the third by taking the green belt that would have made him impenetrable to any blade. He received just a scratch from the blade because he passed the other two tests, and received the belt as a life lesson. He was worried to return to the court because he didn't want to tell them that he had failed, but they made light of it, and they knew that no one was perfect and that he learned his lesson. For the epic hero qualities, Sir Gawain showed that he rose to the challenge and did not shrink from the peril. He also fought for the honor or the shame that the consequences would bring him. He also possessed chivalric hero qualities like courtly skills towards women and heroic courage. In the more modern tale of the natural, Roy Hobbs was a baseball star that was more of an anti-hero than a knight in shining armor. He lacked many of the qualities that are used to characterize heroes, but people still looked up to him because of his talent. He did not listen well to those above him like Pop or the judge, and he did not care for the other team members as long as they were doing their jobs. Roy's whole goal was to be their best that ever was. He was very capable of reaching this goal, but his flaws and distractions got in the way. Roy wanted to be the best for himself, and because of this, he never stopped. He always wanted more. This eventually led to his downfall when he accepted a bribe from the judge to throw the game, all because he wanted more money. When he accepted a bribe from the judge to throw the game, he realized his mistake too late, and his baseball career was ruined. Everything he had worked towards and accomplished was erased because he was too blind to see that what he had now was good enough. Roy was considered a hero because of his baseball talents. This special quality put him into the spotlight, and he was considered a hero not because he deserved it, but because he was good at playing the game. Roy is an anti-hero because he has many flaws and lacks many characteristics of a hero, but in today's standards, he is a baseball star who should have fame and riches. The definition of a hero has changed a lot since the beginning of literature. Heroes started out as being knights in shining armor and evolved to flawed superstars that are not the best role models. The definition has changed a lot with the times and customs of the era, so now that what seems stuffy and formal was once the normal chivalrous thing to do. The definition of a hero has become a lot broader, with a lot of forgiveness